Let's talk about balconies. Not too long ago, I had a video covering and reviewing in depth 3-bedroom unit layouts. And now I would like to dive into one of the components that probably every unit has, a balcony. Brokers will tell you it's almost impossible to sell a unit without a balcony. It's on the top of buyers' wish list to have an outdoor place where they can imagine themselves hosting friends and family. But too often, balconies are so poorly designed that they end up being just a little bit more of an outdoor storage space. And since they are so expensive to build, they become a burden rather than an asset. So how can developers and architects design and build balconies that people will actually use? Let's review some of the important aspects. Number one, noise. A balcony that is exposed to a constant noisy street will probably be used for a very short period of times. And that's when probably just a standing balcony will do the trick. If, however, the street is busy with pedestrian traffic, people could actually enjoy it. So in this case, a large balcony would be the right one to go with, if possible. Number two, how to cut down the wind. High floors are usually exposed to strong winds, and it's very unpleasant for the user. To cut down the wind impact in this case, we can build recessed balconies, or to protect the sides of cantilever balconies with a full height glass. If this isn't enough, balconies could be made completely enclosed. We are now working on a project here at Smart Density where we have recessed balconies with a closure element for winter months. Number three, shading. Even in cold climates like ours, protecting and shading from heat and glare are important. South-facing balconies could be easily shaded by the deep balconies above them. East and west-facing balconies could not be shaded in the same way because of the low sun and require patio blinds for protection. Next, let's talk about dimensions. The smallest usable depth for a standing balcony is 1.5 to 2 feet. At 3 feet, 2 people can sit for coffee. 6 feet allow 4 people to sit around the dining table. Going from 6 to 8 feet will make it more comfortable, but any deeper is mostly only useful when hosting large groups. Growing up, planning for children in new vertical communities, which is the city's design guidelines for raising children in tall buildings, suggests minimum dimensions of 2.4 meters deep by 2.7 meters wide. But when it comes to kids, balconies are quite tricky. I know at least for ourselves, when our daughter started climbing on everything, we took all the furniture out from the balcony, and now we only have folded furniture that we open up when we want to use the balcony. So in this case, perhaps the height of the railing could be higher than the one is required by code if you address your project for families. Next is privacy. So privacy is usually not a big concern because it is expected that when you are out in your balcony, you won't have much of a privacy anyway. The situation becomes tricky when you have 2 balconies facing each other in proximity. So in this case, an opaque or semi-opaque railing or division could be created out of concrete or opaque glass. Number 6, built form. By default, most balconies in new buildings are very exposed. They protrude from the building face and have glass railings. By the way, a question I get a lot is if balconies are considered to be part of the 750 floor plate limitation tall buildings have. So the answer is no. Balconies are not part of the floor plate of 750 square meters. And if you want to learn more about the city's tall building design guidelines and planning generally, check out our online course, Planning for Non-Planners. So back to balconies. A fully protruding balcony is better than a fully recessed one because it allows for better views. However, when balconies are deep enough, the best option is to have it partially recessed. Such balconies provide protection from the weather on one hand, and on the other, still unobstructed views. The opacity of the railing is also important. A transparent railing allows you to look outside even when you're sitting down or sitting low. On lower floors, an opaque railing will actually provide some privacy and protection from direct views, while still allowing the user to enjoy the balcony. Now, let's talk about access to the balcony from the unit. Where the balcony is located within the unit makes a big difference. A balcony that is accessed through the kitchen or living room or the public areas of the unit will feel more welcoming and probably will be better used than a one that is accessed through a bedroom. Not to mention a condition when we see a balcony that is facing the kitchen or living room on one side and a bedroom on the other side, when there's a really privacy conflict. We should really avoid that. And finally, the balcony is a design element. Balconies play a huge role in a way a building is perceived. It could be used or incorporated as a design element to make the building less repetitive and way more interesting. So let's review some examples from around the world.